Dear friends, welcome to today's session. So in today's session, we will be discussing further on the control flow statements. In today's video, we will be talking about the switch statement. In my previous video, we talked about the if statement and the different types of variations it has, like the if else, then else if, and nested if statements. Okay, in today's lesson, we will be talking about the other type of decision making statement, which is the switch statement. So let us get started. So talking about the switch statement, so all of us, we use different electronic devices in our homes, okay, or electronic appliances, those electrical switches, okay, which is used to control those appliances. They look something like this, right? Or they look exactly like this. So all these different switches, they have different functionalities. That means for the first, if I press the first switch on, then the fan will be switched on. The second switch, the light might be switched on. The third switch, the bulb might be switched on. And the fourth switch, the lamp might be switched on. Or if we switch any two statements, if we switch on any two switches, then simultaneously two different electronic appliances may be controlled, or multiple different appliances might be controlled, okay. However, for one switch, we can activate only one item, okay. So for one switch, there is no such provision that we can switch on the light and the fan both at the same time using the same switch, okay. We have to use two different switches definitely, but we will be able to control those appliances using these switches. So the switch statement that we will be talking about, they are also similar to these particular switches that we use in our day-to-day lives, okay. Now switch statements, they are basically a type of conditional statement, and it is based on certain conditions, okay, conditions. So conditions basically trigger this switch statement and it activates only the matching condition out of the given input, right? So switch statements are very similar to if else if statements. That is something we have already done, okay. So if, then else, otherwise we have this is like we have two different conditions, okay, and we will be checking if that condition is true, and if that condition is true, that particular block of code would be executed. This will be more clear when we will look into a particular example regarding this, okay. The switch statement contains multiple blocks of code called the cases. We have to remember that these blocks of code are basically called cases, and in a single case, or a single case is executed based on the variable which is being switched. Like suppose I have switch 1, and if this is on, my fan is switched on, right? So here also, if this particular variable is switched on, okay, or if this particular variable is chosen within the switch statement, then a particular block of code would be executed, right, out of the multiple blocks. So the switch statement is easier to use instead of if else if statements. It also enhances the readability of the program. Talking about the readability of the program, now sometimes it happens that if there are high number of iterations or high number of cases, then, or high number of conditions, then what happens, if else if statements becomes very clumsy to look at, okay, or read also the program. It becomes very clumsy. So it is easier if we use a statement which is represented in a very organized manner, okay. So we have to understand that switch statements are basically conditional statements, and they are used for decision making, and mostly they multiple number of blocks of code are there, and one block will be selected based on whichever variable it is being switched, okay. So if we go further into it, we have to remember some points. First of all, the case variables can be int, short, byte, character or enumeration. So these are the different types of variables which can be switched or which can be chosen inside the switch case. Okay, string type is a latest addition and it is also supported since version 7 of Java. So we can switch different string variables also, but we have to remember that the string should not be represented in variable should not be represented in two different words, and if it is done so, we have to use some special characters within it. Okay, so it is supported as a latest edition of Java. Okay, now second point, it says that the cases cannot be duplicate. That means we cannot have two different cases which will be having the same blocks of code. Okay, so case A and case B should not be executing the same thing. There should be no duplication. Then default statement is executed when any of the case does not match the value of the expression and it is optional. Now default statement is another statement and we will see and talk about this when we look into an example. Okay, so default is basically another case wherein if the conditions do not match, okay, if the other conditions, suppose I have case 1, case 2, case 3, okay, so if these conditions do not match, then immediately the default condition would be executed. So default, maybe you print something, so this particular statement would be printed. Okay, however, this is a conditional and this is an optional statement and you might not use this at all. Okay, this is completely optional and depends upon the user. Again, there is another statement which is known as break statement. Now break statement terminates the switch block when the condition is satisfied. It is also optional and if not used, the next case is executed. Now this is another statement which goes hand in hand with the switch statement. Okay, and default and break statement. So break statement, it terminates the switch block. So whichever block it is executing, it will be ending whenever the compiler encounters the break statement. Okay, so it will be terminating that particular switch block when the condition is satisfied. Okay, and if it is not used, suppose my break statement is not used here, then it will go to the next case. Okay, otherwise it will simply terminate here and it will go out of the entire switch block. Okay, go out of the entire switch block. So let's say it goes out. Okay, not here, it should go out of the switch block. So break, once it encounters here, so this particular code will be executed, and whenever it reaches break and this condition, if it is executed, then it will simply go out of the block. Okay, and if it is not given here, suppose I do not use break here at all, then only the next case will go on executing. Okay, so we will see this. You don't have to worry much about this. We will be looking into this when we are looking into a program. Okay, now while using switch statements, we must notice that the case expression will be of the same type as that of the variable, and it will also be a constant value. So this, I think it is self-explanatory. Okay, so whenever we are looking at a case expression, so this case expression will be the same type as that of the variable. Okay, so let us move ahead. So if we look at this syntax, so this syntax will make things more clear. Okay, so switch expression and this particular expression, okay, this particular expression will basically be coming within the cases. All right, so whatever you have seen in the last point, the case expression will be the same type as that of the variable. So this is the variable, value 1 is the variable, so this expression can hold the value of the variable as value 1, value 2. Okay, so these things you have to remember. So case switch expression, and we'll open a switch block. Within this there will be case value 1, so this is the first value of the expression. Okay, here we have some lines of code to be executed. Then there is break, which is optional. Okay, if we do not use this break, the next condition will be executed. If we use this break, it will come out of the switch block if this particular case is true. Okay, now case value 2, so this is the second expression value variable or second expression value. Okay, here another block would be executed, and again a break statement is there. Finally, this default statement is there, that is, if it does not match with any of the cases, then this default would be executed. All right, so now coming out of this, if we look into a flow chart, so if we look into this switch statement flow chart, you will see there is an expression, okay, which is given as an input, and this expression has different, will be analyzed in different cases, which is case 1, case 2, case 3 and default. So case 1, if it is matched, it will execute statement 1 and it will break, which will come out of the switch block. Okay, if this statement is, if this condition is true. Now if it is not true, then it will be checking for the next condition, right? So if it is checking for the next condition, then if it is matched, then statement 2 would be executed, and if it is matched, then this will come out of the switch block, because I have used break here. Okay, now suppose if none of the cases match, then this default would be executed. Okay, so I think this is pretty simple when we talk about this particular switch statement flowchart. Okay, so if you look into this in detail, you will be able to understand it more. So try to understand this factor, that we have multiple different blocks and we will be selecting the condition based on whether that particular statement is true or false. Okay, this is simply represented like if case 1. Okay, if case 1 is true, then you will execute this, else if case 2, then you will execute this, else if case 3, then you will execute this, otherwise else you will execute a different block of code. This is exactly this representation and nothing else. Okay, however, we can use this also, if else can also be used, but this switch block will, or switch statement will enhance the readability or the representation of the program. All right, so moving on to the next slide, which is break and default. So we saw two keywords, which is break and default. Okay, the first one, which is break, it will simply break out from the switch block. It is not from one condition. Okay, it is breaking out from the switch block once the condition is satisfied. Okay, now suppose in this particular flowchart, if you see that this particular statement is matched, okay, or this particular condition is matched, then it will execute this and it will simply come out of the switch block. It will not be looking further for it. Okay, now second one is default. So this will be executed in case none of the conditions match the given output. So we have already discussed about this, that if none of the conditions are true, then this default condition would be displayed. So next is, in case the break is not provided, what would happen? So it will execute the matching conditions as well as the default condition. Okay, so your logic will go haywire if that occurs. So when do we use default? We use default, or this default statement is executed whenever none of the conditions match. Now whenever we are not using break, what happens is that the condition which is true, that it will be printed, I mean that it will be executed. Also the default will also be executed. Okay, so let us see this with a particular example. So this is the example. So I have a class which is test, okay, and there I have included the main method. Now integer choice 4. So what is the value that I have associated with the choice variable? That is 4. Now what I will be doing is, I will be switching this expression choice, using this variable's choice. Okay, and for choice I will have different values given in the switch statement or switch block. So first thing what I'll do is, I will switch choice. Okay, so and open the brackets. Now case 0, so this is the value of choice that I am putting it inside this case. Okay, and it will be matching whether 0 is equivalent to 4. Okay, if 0 is not equivalent to 4, then this condition is not true. Okay, so this will be checking for the next case. So again case is equal to 1. Okay, So 1 is equal to 4, so this is also not true, it will go for the next condition. Now case 2, 2 is equal to 4, no, it is not equal to 4, so this condition will also not be executed, it will move to the next particular condition. So this is also not true because 3 is not equal to 4, so next it will go to the next condition. So case is equal to 4, so 4, yes, my choice is equal to 4 now, right? The choice which I have given here, okay, this is 4 now, so 4 is equal to the choice which was entered, okay. So yes, this condition is true, that is why the system will print 4 now, and once this condition is matched, it will simply come out of the block, okay, and it will start its execution from here, okay. Now suppose here I would have mentioned case 5. Now 5 and 4 does not match, that means this condition would also not have been true, so in that case the default statement would be printed, okay. So this is how the switch statement works. You have to switch, you have to write the variable which you would like to take as a expression for condition, okay, and based on that condition you will go on writing the different blocks of code which is required for each of the choice, okay. So this is all about your switch statement, so you can try this program in your own systems and find out where it is where you're finding difficulty, and we will discuss. Thank you.